Hey guys, you know I can't go to bed without my fix, even if it's just a few minute fix. But tonight I'll be going to bed earlier than I've gone to bed in months. It's 1:07 right now. Okay. I think I'm gonna fast today. Actually, I might try to fast the entire weekend. I don't have anything to do. No immediate worries. By immediate, I mean like I got my thing into Social Security. I just have to wait. I just have to wait till the next court hearing. That's about it. I have about 13 videos that I recorded over the past few weeks. About 13 that are in private that I'm going to watch and take off of private. Some of them were videos that I temporarily had out and then I put them on private because I hadn't watched them and I decided I wanted to know what I was saying to the world. Anyhow. My mom and I saw Insurgent yesterday. It wasn't bad. I enjoyed it. I didn't remember some of the last one. So in the beginning of this movie I was confused what was going on because I forgot the last one ended. This philosophy is really good. Stuck or whatnot. Anyway. $1:15, $1:30. That's the earliest I've gone to bed in months, I believe. I don't think I've gone to bed this early in months. And even the last time I went to bed this early, prior to that I hadn't gone to bed that early in months. You know what I mean? That's the first step. I need to start going to bed a reasonable hour. And even 1:30 is too late, but, you know, it's better than 5:30 or even 4. And I am sleepy. But by the way, that bus driver I was so pissed off at months and months ago, whenever it was. Yeah, it was that night I was tipsy. And again, I wasn't falling down drunk, and the bus driver was rude to me, but he may have been having a bad day as I was having a bad day. My mom just wanted from the hospital at that time, you know. In any case, I am not the type to hold a grudge. Hope was the type to hold a grudge, admittedly so. She said it outright to me, she said I hold a grudge. And she's the type, she'd be wrong. And remember, if I believe I'm wrong, I have no problem apologizing, but, you know, there are times where you know damn well you're not wrong, that the other party is wrong. She'd be wrong, but I couldn't take continuing to not speak. It was hell on earth for me to be living with somebody and not talk to them. I mean, I couldn't take it. So I would break the silence. I would make the first move. She took that as an indication that I was admitting guilt, even though I didn't apologize. Just the fact that I would even do anything to break the silence, because it would just go on forever if I left it up to her. To her, that meant I was, without actually apologizing, admitting guilt. And no, it was just it was me trying to make the peace. And how do I know that she thought it was me admitting guilt? And because we were somewhere shopping, or I don't know, we were at Jordan Chase Penny or something, whatever, in California, and she made some comment like, we wouldn't even be here if you hadn't apologized. I'm thinking, I didn't apologize. I simply spoke to you because this was ridiculous, and we're under the same roof, and I cannot just go forever without speaking to you. It's driving me up. It's driving me nuts. I can't take it. It's killing me, She said that, and I just kept my mouth shut, said nothing, I just thought I'd point that out, that unlike other people, I have the ability, to not hold a grudge. Perfect example is my father. Look how horribly he treated me when I was a teenager, desperate for his love. And had he given me any indication that he had changed, as an adult, that he wasn't this, he had changed. Remember, he went through AA and whatnot, and stopped drinking, stopped doing the pot, whatever, but he, and my mom thinks probably back when she was met up, when she got involved with him, unfortunately. Although had she not, I may have never existed. Oh, boo-hoo. Anyway, I think he was doing coke back then. He shot somebody and wound up in jail for a couple of years, I think. But then his mom got him out. She had connections, and she said, he has a wife and who's pregnant at home, and his grandmama was able to get him out. But, just the fact that he shot somebody, and he was just bad news. And my mom's a sweetheart, Sweetheart with no self-esteem, but a sweetheart nonetheless. Anyway, I would have forgiven him. Remember, when I was living here in Massachusetts, I was still talking to my dad and whatnot. He was in Florida. It's just that then when I went to LA, we went our separate ways, because I wasn't that close to him under the circumstances. And then he told you the story, he found me, but I'm getting to my point. He wound up being an asshole, okay? He hadn't changed. He was an asshole towards me. Fuck him. I gave him a chance, to not be an asshole, to show a little, understanding or empathy or compassion or whatnot. Considering I nearly died. I had recently, when he had found me, nearly died at the hands of my joke of a then boyfriend, at the end of our farce of a relationship, so whatever. But I'm not, upset with that bus driver anymore, the one who was so rude to me. And I don't hold a grudge. I can forgive. It's not like he had apologized to me or anything. Be nice to me. It's the same with my father. I certainly wasn't expecting an apology that I would never get. Whatever. He doesn't need me. He's got his African-American adopted son. As far as I know, he doesn't talk to my half-sister. They had some kind of falling out or something, he told me before. And then he wanted his blood son, and I accidentally, not intentionally, because I didn't know I had that much power, fuck things up between him and his son. I mean, you know. And I have the accusatory email showing exactly what my daddy thinks of me. But yeah, that bus driver's, never thought that would happen, but I like him now and he's cool. See, and that's because I don't hold a grudge. I'd been drinking a little bit. I mean, I wasn't shit-faced, but you know, and he probably had a bad day that day, and you know, and I was all upset about my mom, and I'd been drinking, you know, so I can give us both the benefit of the doubt and put it behind me. I can. So saw Insurgent and liked it a lot. Again, didn't understand some of it because I couldn't remember how what had happened, you know, at the end of the last one. It's this Divergent series. My mom's like, did you read the book? I'm like, well, I guess it's more than one book, but no, but I'm thinking I might want to. It's kind of interesting. Oh, Shailene Woodley. I couldn't think of her name. I don't know why. Here's something interesting. We got home today. I'd asked my mom earlier, I'm like, I'm expecting a DVD. Do you think you'll be up to watching a movie? Neither of us were up to it. I was falling asleep on the chair. I couldn't stay awake. I watched some of it, but the same freaking characters. That's a hoot and a holler to me. This Shailene Woodley, but two of the guys, one that is her love interest, were the same ones who, you know, were in the Insurgent and Divergent, and that's interesting. So I just got through watching that movie. It's The Spectacular Now, by the way, and I fell asleep at the, you know, I watched some of it, but I fell asleep. I haven't watched it. Bad movie. Not a bad movie. I liked it. Kept me entertained. My mom and I saw the previews for Age of Adeline. That looks good. Definitely. My mom was like, you want to see that? I'm like, sure. And then she's like, but it comes out on April 24th, yeah? Well, that's too soon from today. We only are allowed to see movies. We can only see movies once in a while. I said, well, that's not exactly your rule, Mom. You know, number one, and number two, just because it comes out on April 24th, it'll be around for a little bit, you know, depending on how popular it is. But even the unpopular ones are around for a couple of weeks, you know, and usually longer, even if they're not that popular. And she's like, oh, yeah, so you don't have to see it right when it comes out, Mama. And I told her about The Longest Ride. I probably want to see that in the theater, too. It usually is a rule of mine that I don't see movies in the theater too often. This is expensive, even going during the day. But if there's good movies, you know, there have been times where I've gone out to look for a movie to see, and there's nothing I wanted to see. If there are good movies, then sure, we can see them in the theater a little more often, Mom. So I watched that movie, then came home and tried to watch The Spectacular Now, but I couldn't stay awake. Couldn't stay awake. And I'll end with this. I was telling Omar, you know, that I love him, as I often do, even if he doesn't understand what I'm saying. He had to be in the bathroom today. He was none too happy, let me tell you. And my mom, out of the blue, but you have to remember, she's exhausted. She was falling asleep on the couch. I was falling asleep on the chair. She's exhausted. We had a long day today. Long day. And I fell asleep and including walking a good distance, So she's exhausted. And I said, she says out of the blue, do you love Homer more than you love, do you love Homer more than me? I'm like, huh? I was ignoring her, like, what do you mean? Then I thought what she meant was, do you love Homer more than she loves Homer? I didn't know what she meant, and then she repeated herself. I'm like, what do you mean, Mom? She's like, do you love Homer more than you love me? I wanted to say to her, I'm like, Mom, go to bed. You're overtired. You're asking stupid questions. But I looked at her and I go, why would you ask that? She's like, well, you say you love him. And then she was saying some bullshit like, you didn't have me for a long time. He's a dog. You're my mother. Of course I don't love Omar more than I love you. You're a human being. I said this to her, by the way. I'm not just saying it to you. I said it to her. I'm like, Mom, you're being ridiculous. You're overtired. Go to bed. You're a human being. You're my mother. He's a dog. Of course I don't love Omar more than I love you. I mean, it's just ludicrous, stupid asinine, dumbass, stupid ass question today. Dumb question. Ridiculous. Do I love Omar than I love my own mother? I think I even love my father. But I'm sure I did at some point, so just as a lot of you, if you have conflict with your parents, deep down, you probably love them. If he had a change of heart on his deathbed or something and wanted to see me, I certainly wouldn't be that heartless to not see him, But I highly doubt that was going to happen. He had his chance. All he had to do was show me a little understanding, compassion, empathy, and he wasn't able to do it, He didn't do it when I was a teenager. He lost his girlfriend and turned wife, who he'd been with for 20 years. Not married 20 years. They got married but they'd been together for a long time when they got married. And he told me why. He told me the truth. He said she left him, but I'm sure there were other problems, but her father died, and he told her, he told me the truth. He's like, Diane left me. It's like, I didn't support her enough when her dad was dying. Yeah. When he died, she was like, oh, that's the end of that. She divorced him. Not only am I going to bed earlier than I've gone to bed once, but I'm actually exhausted. That's good, huh? Now, I need to put a sweater on. Remember, I followed the advice, and it's not to save my mom's money. My money, that is one of the end results. But You shouldn't keep your heat on very high at night. You should sleep with it cooler in your room. And I adhere to that philosophy. I guarantee you, when I wasn't living here, my mom did not adhere to that. She kept her heat on too high at night. But that presents problems too. You can dry out and stuff, it's just not good. All the experts recommend that you lower your heat, as much as you can tolerate. Something I read recently said you should just, if you can't, just turn your heat off. Yeah, that ain't happening, okay? Particularly turn our heat off, at night, in the middle of winter, But they did say that. But basically, they're just trying to get you to see that. As cool as you can tolerate it, and just have covers, That's what they recommended. And you can do it, but you don't do that here in Massachusetts. You don't turn your heat off, But I know people that have it lower than we have it. I turn it down to 66, and some people at night would lower it down to 62 or something, But my mom, she doesn't want it that low. Because it's too cold when she gets up. She has to get into the bathroom and whatnot. So. But when I first moved in, I just tested it, and I asked her, could you tell that while you were in bed, could you tell that I had lowered the heat at all to a significant amount compared to what you had it on? And she's like, no. And I'm like, saving you money, and it's better for you anyway. It's better for me. It's better for all of us. And all of us. And she's like, no, I couldn't tell. I'm like, okay, that's good. But of course she can tell when she gets up. But you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't keep your heat high just because if you get up quickly to go to the bathroom, you're going to be a little bit chilly. You can go right back to bed and snuggle under your covers. When you get up in the morning, you turn the heat up. See? That's cut and dry. It's simple enough, right? That's not complicated. Woman on a plane here. It was a plane going to New Hampshire. I don't know where it was leaving from or what was going on, but I guess there was a delay on the tarmac or whatever. Who knows how long the delay was going to be, but whatever. This Santa Claus type guy fell asleep and was apparently snoring, and the woman next to him decided she couldn't take the snoring. She went airplane passenger equivalent to road rage or whatever. I don't know. She snapped and she started stabbing him with her pen. She stabbed him through his shirt. He was wearing a shirt. It's gonna bruise. It didn't bleed. They showed it on the news, all the pen marks, and it ruined his shirt. And he woke up thinking it felt like he was being stung by bees. It hurt really badly. But in the end, I guess he felt like being forgiving or whatnot. He didn't press charges, so she was removed from the plane, but she wasn't arrested. It was all... You'd think she would have been arrested for causing... Even if he doesn't want to press charges, she still caused trouble. The police had to come onto the plane. They did this, they did that, but no. He wouldn't press charges, so she was removed and put on another flight. Isn't that weird? He didn't want to press charges against her. But she can't go around doing that, She's obviously, a ticking time bomb or something. Stabs a freaking guy with a pen in his arm because he's snoring, she better look into, she better consider herself, she should consider herself lucky. I shouldn't say she better, because, you know, people can do what they want to do, including, you know, me, anybody, but she should consider herself lucky, and, you know, and look into her behavior, because, you know, sure, she used a pen to stab the guy in his arm repeatedly because his snoring was bothering her, and she lost it. She just went nuts, okay? But that's just a mini version, you know, a 1% version of the 100% version of that guy who blew the guy away in front of him, because the guy was texting his daughter during the previews at a movie, and, you know, and the light from the text, you know, the guy that blew him away likes the previews, but obviously he was a ticking time bomb. He's an ex-cop, and, you know, so that woman who stabbed the guy with a pen is just a mini version of somebody who, like, road rage or whatnot, you know. And so, hopefully, since he could have pressed charges, you know, she would have been arrested for what she did done to him, an innocent, sleeping, snoring, you know, snoring guy who apparently is a very nice guy, older guy, Santa Claus, like Santa Claus, white hair, not white beard. I don't know. He started screaming because he's being poked with the pen, and apparently, I'm wondering, why couldn't you just shake him? Why did she have to stab him with the pen? But apparently he started screaming that he was being stung by bees or something, and the whole airplane heard him. So of course they had to call authorities. They had to do an emergency landing. You know what I mean? They had to do an emergency landing, and oh no. Did they have to do it? I thought they said he decided to sleep because they were having a delay on the run. I don't know. I don't know if they had just taken off and had to do an emergency landing. Oh no, the emergency landing was that employee worker or whatever trapped in the cockpit of another plane. This one, I don't think there's no emergency landing. They hadn't taken off yet. There was a delay, and that's why he decided to take a nap. And, you know, one of those things where it's delayed and you don't take off. So then, but he started screaming when she was stabbing him with the pen. We've all accidentally stabbed ourselves with the pen, you know. Like he said, it was through his shirt. It didn't bleed, but it scared him. And he's like, imagine if you're asleep and wake up and you're being stung by bees. He started screaming. The whole plane heard him, so of course they had to call the authorities in. I mean, that's a given, right? They had to. You know, have you ever heard of that in your life? I haven't. Just goes to show you, things you've never heard in your life doesn't mean in your lifetime you won't hear of them. There's always new things coming up that are just bizarre, okay? Here in Massachusetts, we're having the winter. All this snow is really bad because it protected the ticks from dying, like from having the deep freeze and dying like they normally would have died. And apparently there's deer ticks that can pose serious illness to some people who aren't able to fight it off. They develop encephalitis in the brain, and so I guess we're gonna have a bad tick season. Have to be careful, because even though the beast is protected with Frontline Plus, you know, that doesn't mean that you can't, you know, you still as a human being have to check, and they give you warnings, don't go and take photos or whatever. So, you know, but I've seen ticks in this house before, at least one inside the house, and also when I was on the puppy. So, you know, So with that, I'm going to go to bed. I think I might fast today. I was thinking of trying to fast in 3 days. One day my water fast and 2 days juice. On court days. Auntie had given us some chocolate for Easter and we chowed down on it. When I used to having milk chocolate. It was milk chocolate, Reese's peanut butter cup eggs, and they were delicious. And, you know, we're not used to having that. My mom was just, she got home from court and she was just chowing down on them. And I'm like, did you save me, Annie? She's like, no. I'm like, Mom, what are you eating them all for? She's like, I didn't think you wanted them, but you didn't ask. No, I didn't think you wanted it when it comes to food you want to eat, and that's just just gives you an excuse. Well, I ate it all because I didn't think you'd want it, but you assumed you don't know what I want. I thought you only eat organic. Mom, you buy Ghirardelli every week. That might be dark chocolate, but it sure is fucking organic. Okay. So anyway, she thought she'd eaten them all, but she had left me one, and then we found another one buried in the grass of the little bag. So I had that on Tuesday, and then Wednesday she went grocery shopping. She got the Ghirardelli with that, and then today was movie day, and we always get chocolate this day, you know. So needless to say, I had too much chocolate over the rest. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Today's Friday. Very weird watching an Insurgent and then 3 of the characters in Insurgent are also in the Spectacular now. And that's just fucking very strange to me. It's 1:39 again. This is the early 1:39, April 17th. This is the earliest I have gone to bed in ages. I don't know when's the last time I went to bed this early. Ages. I mean, months. It's still not early enough, but you know, I'm going to be fasting 2 days, so I'm going to be weak, and hopefully I'll be able to get into bed, you know, a couple hours earlier, like at 11:30 instead of 1:30, tomorrow night, or tonight rather, right? We just keep working up to it. These wound up not being so bad, these CVS things. See, I realized the reason it was messing up is because I was putting it in wrong. I still don't care for earplugs, you know. They hurt. I mean, they don't hurt inside your ear and you're sleeping anyway, but you know, when you pull them out, they hurt. I'm assuming they designed them that they can never hit your eardrum. I don't know how deep our eardrums go down, but, you know, they make earplugs and they tell you to poke them in there like that after rolling them, so I'm assuming that they can't ever hit your eardrum. I know they say don't assume you make a guess on you. My common sense tells me that they shouldn't be able to hit your eardrum. Nope, we don't want them to squish down. We want them to go down. Go down, baby. I know how they're supposed to feel. They're in. So this is my latest thing, and it's good because it means that my mom isn't gonna, accidentally wake me up. And she gets up a lot earlier than me. Again, I want to start going to bed earlier and getting up earlier. But even if I was doing that, I'd still be sleeping later than she gets up, And she if I don't feel like going like a little bit, then I feel like it's not really in correctly. Although it probably is. Alright, baby, they're in. They are in. They're in.